Now it's time to add the actual lot that the house is going to go on. So you need to go into your project browser and double click on Site Plan. We're going to go to Site Plan. Whenever we're in Site Plan, if you loaded a specific type of refrigerator or range, see how the labels are showing up? It won't let you click on these and hide them, so we're going to have to manually tell it to turn these labels off. So under Properties, go to Visibility and Graphics and click the Edit button. When you click Edit, you're going to get a very long list of things that have been turned on or turned off. So scroll down till you get to Specialty Equipment. Specialty Equipment, and take the checkbox off and click Apply. And that will take off those labels. Tell that okay. Now I need you to go down to the bottom of the screen and change it to shaded. And then I need you to zoom out, because we're going to actually put in a lot of land for this house. So let's talk about the actual lots. The lot that we're going to use for our floor plan is in your modules, and it's in the file section as well. So this is the lot that we're going to use. We're going to use lot 54 on Cynthia Avenue. So let's look at the lot and let's see what's going on. Anytime you have a plat, which is a lot of land, it's called a plat, you have a north arrow. We have topography lines. This is the elevation. You'll see your little elevation marks. In the corners, this is your benchmark. Those are your benchmarks. You have your bearing and your distance. Okay, so the line, the property line itself is 220 feet. Due south, 86 degrees, 20 minutes, 30 seconds east. Okay, so that is your property line for your property that your house is going to go on. This particular lot shows us the center line of the road, the distance from the center line to the property line, and it also locates your utilities. It also has an easement. An easement could be for a power line, maybe a gas line or a sewer line had to go across this property. So whatever entity needed that easement, they would have purchased the easement from the landowner. So this property has a 20-foot wide easement for whatever utility needed to go through this property. Now let's look at some different lots. Here's another plat. Okay, this is a plat for a neighborhood in York, Applewood Lane. And we need to look at some of the things on this plan so you'll understand what they mean. This property also has an easement across the back. They have a 20-foot storm drainage. So in this neighborhood, the storm drain, the water runoff, runs at the back of this street's properties. You see the bearing and the distances. You see the location of the house. The typical location method for locating a house on the lot is you locate from the corner of the house to the property lines. You notice you have the center line of the street. This has a 50-foot public right-of-way. So when we say a right-of-way, you've got to think about what's happening here. This driveway goes to the edge of the street, to the back of the curb. But their property does not start at the back of the curb. Now they maintain this, they cut the grass, it's their lot. However, this is the right-of-way. So if they planted beautiful crepe myrtles here and built maybe some stone structure, fencing or something like that, right at the edge of the curbing, if they wanted to run a new water line through here, the backhoe's going to tear all of that up, and that is the fault of the homeowner. That's in the right of way. This neighborhood also has a 25-foot setback on the front and the rear, and a 10-foot setback on the side yards. What that means, when you have a setback, no part of your building structure can be in the setback. So if this house was moved just a little bit forward and a corner of that roof crossed the threshold of that setback, they could possibly be forced to take that roof apart and fix it and push it back. So a lot of times they will put setbacks on lots to kind of keep people from building like into their neighbor's kind of space and getting too close to the people on either side. So you have to look at that when you're buying a lot in a neighborhood. What are your limitations? Whatever your setbacks are. Where can I build my structure? You notice they give kind of overall sizes of the house. They show the driveway layout. They show where the porches are, walkways. So any utility, they've got their cable TV here. The adjacent lots are shown. North arrow, never give me a plat without a north arrow. So your lot is showing you the land your house is built on. So it's very important that this is correct. The plot plan is the only plan that shows the layout of the driveway. You don't show the driveway on the floor plan. You don't show it on the furniture plan. So how you would like the driveway laid out is only showed on the plot plan. Okay, so think about this as we start building these. In your final house plan project, I gave you a subdivision and you had to pick a lot. So that's one of the things you have to think about when you design your house. Is your house going to fit on the lot? What setbacks exist? So you have to make sure the house isn't too big for the land you're going to put it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Revit and we're going to create this lot. So in the Revit software, we have a function that will let us type in the bearing and distances. You always have to look at your lot because you want to start due north. So your bearing and your distance, you always want to start north first, and everything works from there. So notice on the left-hand side, it just says due north. Well, that's going to be straight up, 160 feet. And then this is going southeast, southwest, and southwest again. So in your module, you have a cheat sheet. So you'll be able to call that up, or you can pause the video here and type in these numbers into Revit. So let's go to our Revit. We are in Site Plan, Massing and Site tab. Go to the Massing and Site tab and then click Property Line. And you're going to create by entering bearings and distances. So this is the chart that you're going to enter your bearing and distance in. We're only going to enter 3 of them because we're going to click Add Line to close in that perimeter. So what you're going to do is go to your cheat sheet and type in these numbers in Revit, and then save and open the next video explaining what to do next with that lot.